What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. It's the Branded Dude and I hope you guys are doing well because I have another replay for you guys. Here we are going up against Ryzeal Fiendsmith, 60 card branded. So let's hop in and see how it went. So in the rock paper scissors guys, I won and I chose to go first. Opening hands, you'll see we open branded opening, Albaz, Mag, Aluba and Serenia. Decent hand. Obviously we are vulnerable to an impim or effect value on Aluba that could potentially end our turn. But anyways, opponent opens Nibiru, Bonfire, Fualos, X Ryzeal and Engraver. 2 hand traps. Pretty strong hand trap as well. So you know that's a decent hand. He has access to Fiendsmith as well as these Ryzeal plays. So yeah, it's a good hand. So anyways, in draw phase, opponent drops Fualos and 2 Fu. We will chain branded opening so that we don't allow opponent to draw extra card. And also it doesn't force us to like have to rely on a normal summon. So we discard Serenia to summon Quem. On res, Chainlink 1 Quem, Chainlink 2 Serenia. So here we're going straight for Branded Fusion by sending Fusion and Retribution. And then in main phase we go Retribution, adding Branded Fusion. So yeah, cool, that's it. We then normal summon Aluba, attempting to use its effect to search for a brand spell trap. Now here guys, I decided to add Branded in High Spirit Stand. The reason why is, assuming that if we add Branded last and, well, forget about adding Branded last. If our opponent has Ash Blossom, right? And if we search Branded last, we activate Fusion, which gets ashed. Our turn ends there completely. Sure, we have Mag, but like, it's not going to do much. So I decided if my opponent has Ash Blossom, it's cool. We're going to go Branded Fusion, gets ashed, and then at least we have High Spirits to just send a Fusion to the graveyard, get a search. And you know, essentially we're just setting up more plays for us so that we can set up our board a little in end phase and you know not just end on a Quem and a Luba on the field. So I decided, you know, let's just search High Spirits in case opponent has Ash Blossom. We then go Brand Fusion and yeah, opponent does not have Ash Blossom, so we fusion off into Albion, sending Albaz and Rebellion. But remember, we are under Fualos, so we don't trigger Albion the fusion monster's effect, nor do we trigger Quem because I mean Quem can only reborn Albaz. I was contemplating on sending what's her name, Cartesia, but I decided I do want Albion the Branded to go to grave, and I do want to set up either Branded Regained or Branded Last Year. So yeah, so we didn't do too many effects here. Opponent did join to Fiendsmith Paradise. I guess that's a bad draw because now the card is in his hand unless he's able to send it to grave of some way. But yeah. Anyways, nothing on rares, luckily no Bestial, so we do tribute Albion to summon Rebellion. Rebellion here will place Branded Regain because we're going to use Mag to banish and we're going to try see if we can draw into something good. We then go Magnum Hut, banishing Serenias, and then on rares it will be Chainlink 1 Regain, Chainlink 2 Mag. That we did it this way to protect Regain from getting hit from Ogre. That's the reason why we went that way. And we join to Super Poly, which is decent. It's a decent board breaker. We set Super Poly and we set High Spirits and we tend to go to end phase, but because we did normal summon, how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 5 times. Our opponent is going to drop the Nibiru on us, which is fine, no response. Yeah, so everything goes to grave. On this, I was thinking of triggering Regain's effect to reborn Mag, but I decided no, rather just leave it in grave so that in our opponent's turn, we can reborn Mag to get its effect. So yeah, didn't decide to use it, let's just leave it in the grave. And yeah, doing some calculations on the token, but in end phase we go Albion, setting Branded Red. I don't set Branded Banishment because I decided, you know, we do kind of want to find a way to use Branded Red, target Albaz to go into Mirror Jade, you know, something along that line. So I decided, you know what, let's just keep this there. Sure, I could have set Branded Banishment and then use Banishment to reborn Quem, maybe perform a fusion summon, but the whole point is keep Quem on the field so that Quem has a chance to reborn Albaz, and then we have Super Poly to use Albaz and whatever extra deck monster. You know, we could have done that, but I decided, now, you know what, let's put Branded Red. So I decided to go that way, and then Mag results by adding Drew Swim to hand from deck. We pass turn, our opponent draws into a second Bonfire, unfortunate, but yeah. He goes Bonfire, searching Ice Ryzeal. He then normal summons Ice, and we go Chainlink to Regain, targeting Mag. Ice here will search, special summon Sword, sorry, then Chainlink 1 Sword, Chainlink 2 Mag. Mag here will get the end phase search, and Sword ends up searching X. My opponent then, well, before my opponent overlays into either Duo Drive, which most probably would be what he was going for, or maybe Closed Moon, whatever the case is, I decide to go High Spirits here, revealing Albaz, sending Titan, and then we just search Mercuria. Now, the reason why I did this is because I am planning to go into Chimera to pop these 2 level 4 bodies, you know, just trying to slow down our opponent from what's the word, perform a XC summon. But also you need to remember Nibiru is on the field, and now X Ryzeal is cannot actually use its effect to what is it, add another pyro, add, because of this Nibiru. So you know my opponent is in a bit of a, what's the word, tight spot because Nibiru is affecting his play. So yeah, we send Owlbears and Titan to add Mercuria, and then on res we do go Branded in red, target Owlbears, banishing Mag, the Nib token, and Mercuria to go into Guardian Chimera. Chainlink 1 Chimera, Chainlink 2 Regain, targeting Magnum Hut, so that Magnum Hut is still in play, you know, being able to recycle. And we go Chainlink 3 Mercuria. Mercuria, we just search Kit, that way we can add back Branded Fusion. We then shuffle back Mag and join to Branded Sword, and we join to Super Poly of Chimera, and we pop both these level 4s. Now my opponent here does start with his Fiendsmith engine, searching tracks. Track here will obviously discard the Lurry in the end, and then he triggers Lurry, to which we chain our Joyous, because I decided, you know, let's take the chance, let's make it more difficult for him to access his Fiendsmith engine. And then obviously potentially we do have Super Poly, so we can use Chimera and Juraswim to go into Dragos Depelia, and then Juraswim will trigger to send a special summon body to the fields, to the grave. So yeah, so we banished Lurry, which was actually a good choice because my opponent had no other Fiendsmith plays, plus also he did normal summon. So yeah, he was in a tight position. Opponent enters battle phase attacking Juraswim with Nibiru, and then Juraswim will obviously send Nibiru since it was destroyed. But now the field is clear. Obviously the good play would have been to, I could have just not used Juraswim to not send the Nibiru token, but I decided, you know, we are in a pretty good position. Sure, he's going to do his plays, but you know, listen, I have Super Poly in hand, Super Poly in the field. I think even if he makes his plays, I was pretty confident that we are going to be able to break his board. Anyways, now he special summons X by sending Eclipse Twin. X here now will finally get to searching for Sword. And now he's going to special summon Sword. He already used its effect. Overlays into Dio Drive. Dio Drive here uses its effect to attach. He attaches another, I think, Ice, right? Yeah, he attaches Ice. He then goes Dio Drive effect to search the field spell, and he searches Node. He activates a field spell. Then Node's effect here will send the traps to Reborn Sword, and then he overlays into Dio Drive, which will use its effect to attach Eclipse Twin, which we don't respond with anything here. My opponent then enters end phase. Now in end phase, obviously Mag here will resolve, but I was contemplating on whether I should use Titan effect, but I decided, you know what, let's not use it, because if I go Chainlink 1 Titan, he can go Chainlink 2 Detonator, pop, you know, the face down, or even pop this, whatever the case is, and also Cross will just negate it. So I decided, let me not risk losing my cards. Let's just keep the number of cards on the field right now, so that my opponent has to deal with all these cards on the field first before anything else. So I decided, you know, it's not worth it. Let's just, we're better off just not doing anything. So we just resolve Mag, searching Rebellion, and we pass turn. We don't use Titan Eclad's effect, and we just draw for turn. We draw into Book of Eclipse. We go straight to main phase. Now here I was contemplating, do I normal summon Owlbears, then use Super Poly, but then, you know, my opponent does have Eclipse here, which can be an issue. Obviously he does have Ryzeal Cross, and also I decided, you know, we need to deal with Eclipse Twin. Basically we need to deal with it, because does he have Xyz? No, he doesn't have another Xyz. So I could have went normal summon Owlbears effect, Super Poly this away, because then Eclipse Twin won't be able to trigger, because it needs to target two other two other Xyz monsters. So yeah, I could have done that, but I decided, you know what, let's just go Rebellion effect here. Obviously my opponent here does chain Detonator to target Regain, which is fine, because remember Retribution can still be, I think we use Retribution, yeah, because we have kits in hand, we can hopefully add Retribution back to hand, keep it in hand, and then when we activate Super Poly we can discard Retribution to, and then when Retribution is engraved we can just banish it to add Regain back to hand. So, you know, I wasn't too worried about this. It's cool, let it get destroyed, because I was confident that we had a way to add Retribution back to hand. Now we go Kit's effect, which my opponent doesn't chain anything, and then on its summons effect, which we activate, my opponent does chain Detonator again, popping the back row, which is fine. We're not going to chain it, but he does use the field spell to negate Kit's effect, which is, yeah, I guess that's a decent choice. We then normal summon Albaz and go straight for Super Poly, discarding the branded sword. We use Detonate and Albaz, go into Albion, and now Albion here will trigger its effect to fusion summon, and here we banish what's the name, Albaz and Lubellion to go into Chaos, the Star Source Dragon, which is going to pop both the Field Spell and Dual Drive. Our opponent does go chaining to Fiendsmith in Paradise, and we chain our branded sword to add Mercuria to hand. Here I knew my opponent was going to send Desiree, so we were like trying to just keep that monster negate in hand. So yeah, as I said, you know, all the change resolved. Now on res it goes Desiree effect, shuffling back an Engraver, and he attempts to send Star Source Dragon, which I decide to let go because I was worried my opponent had a Nibiru in hand. So I decided, you know what, let's just save the Mercury for that. We then go Mag, attempting to target his Eclipse, and yeah, no, my opponent's good because that was enough damage on board. Now we go to game number 2, guys. Here you'll see in the opening hands, we do open Regained, Eclipse, Cartesia, Fusion, Duplication, and Opening. My opponent opens Judgment, Veiler, Imperm, Fiendsmith, and Solemn Strike. So unfortunately, he doesn't have any Ryzeal plays. So he starts off with Tract, sending Lurry, and then Lurry effect is going to summon itself. Then here comes Requiem summon Lacrima dump Engraver, Fiendsmith, Requiem, then going to Necroquirp, then Engraver to reborn itself because he is going for Wave High King Caesar, and yeah, unfortunately that's all he could do. So he has Caesar to negate 2 special summons, he has an Imperm, Solemn Strike, Judgment, and Effect Veiler. He does also have Requiem, which could lead to Fiendsmith in Paradise as another interruption. So yeah, we draw for turn, we draw into Magnum Hut, we enter main phase right away, activating Regained just in case. I decided let's just put it there. Then we follow up with Eclipse, which gets hit with Judgment, halving our opponent's life points. We then go Branded Opening, which gets chained with Caesar, negating it. We then normal summon Cartesia. What I was trying to do here was I was trying to force out both Caesar's negates. That way, once it's used, I can use Magnuma to banish the light or dark, and then try to see what we can draw into, right? That was the whole play here. But on Cartesia, my opponent does chain Effect Veiler, which is totally fine. Okay, we then go Mag, targeting, I think we targeted, his Engraver, but which my opponent then uses Solemn Strike. And now we set Fusion Duplication. We attempt to go to end of main, which my opponent then decides to use Lacrima's effect, summoning Requiem, but since a monster was summoned, we go Chainlink 1 Regained, and then my opponent, he tried to use Caesar, but Caesar doesn't negate a spell card effect that includes an effect to summon, only a spell card activation, basically. So yeah, he then goes Chainlink to Requiem, which is fine, summoning Lacrima, and then now Chainlink 1 Mag, Chainlink 2 Lacrima, which we allow to resolve. I mean, we have nothing to it, so it resolves, putting Fiendsmith in Paradise. We enter battle phase. Now here I got rid of Lacrima just so that he doesn't have too many level 4 bodies on his field, and I decide to crash my Mag. That way when opponent summons a monster during his turn, we can reborn Mag off Regain. So I decide let's put it back in grave. And now we go to end phase, we add Serenia in hand. Now the reason why we add Serenia is because we want Serenia to go to grave so that it can trigger its effect to send Branded Fusion, and now Branded Fusion Duplication would be live. So that was the plan here, so we add Serenia. Anyways, we pass turn. Opponent draws into the field spell, which is unfortunate, so still no Ryzeal plays. He then goes Engraver, shuffling back Lacrima to summon itself, which we attempt to go Serenia here. We're trying to force out Wave High King Caesar, which we do, gets Chainlink to Wave High King, destroying Serenia and negating its effect. On res though, we do go Chainlink 1 Serenia, Chainlink 2 Regained. The reason why I made Serenia Chainlink 1 is because I don't want it to get hit with Ash. So we summon Mag and we send Branded Fusion, then we go Magnum Hut, attempting to use the effect, which is fine. And then our opponent decides to go Requiem to equip. Then Engraver here will attempt to use the effect to send Mag, which we allow to resolve, because now the reason why I didn't bother to chain Cartesia is because if we go Fusion Duplication, I don't want to go into, most probably I'm going to go into Albion the Branded. If I go Chainlink 1 Albion and we already use Cartesia, or basically Cartesia is off the field, we are going to lose the Imperm. So I decided, you know what, let it go, let's save the Cartesia, that way we can use it to dodge Imperm or Veiler. He links off into Requiem, and then he uses its effect to summon Lacrima, I think, we'll dump another Engraver. He then links off into Sequence with Lacrima and Caesar. On this though, we do go fusion duplication, and as I said, we are going to fusion summon. So we send Albaz and Rebellion into Albion the branded, and then we go chainlink 1 Albion. My opponent attempts to go Imperm, which yeah, that was not a good idea because we have Cartesia. So we go chainlink 3 Cartesia, fusion away into Grand Gugno, and then Albion will resolve. So we banish Sarania and Magnamut to go into Chaos. I don't bother to go into what's his name, Merjade, because I was worried that this card in my opponent's hand was a Ryzeal name. You know, I think maybe he was trying. I thought my opponent was doing all this to force out all the interruptions. So I was worried this card in hand was a Ryzeal monster. So I decided to go into Star Source, basically to pop this sequence. But yeah, obviously opponent's turn. So it's chainlink 1 Paradise, chainlink 2 we go Grand Gugno, chainlink 3 Regain targeting Magnum Hut, and then we go chainlink 4 Star Source to pop his sequence. So we shuffle back Magjaw into Rebellion, and off Grand Gugno we do send Rinbrim because we do have an Albaz engrave, and luckily for us we got a draw, so we have a card in our hand to discard. So I did all this to set up a basically a Rinbrim line to help summon Albaz and go into Merjade. But yeah, my opponent has nothing here, so he had no plays, unfortunately. Nothing after that. We had enough here. We're gonna get Cartesia back in the end phase. We have Rebellion, so yeah, that's it. We managed to stop our opponent from doing too much. Unfortunately, he didn't see any Ryzeal cards in hand, so that also led to him not being able to make further plays, and we ended up winning this game. So yeah, guys, that was the gameplay here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do like, comment, and subscribe. If you notice any misplays or any better lines, please do let me know. You guys have been always in the previous videos as well. You guys informed me of rulings or even better plays. Yeah, listen guys, sometimes when I'm on DB I tend to forget rulings myself because I'm just so stuck and just in the game itself, which is not good. Honestly, I need to obviously remember all of this stuff, because now not remembering these rulings or not knowing these better plays does affect, you know, my games as well. But yeah, guys, listen, thank you so much for your your interaction, and also just letting me know as well, because, you know, we're all here to learn. Obviously, some people may not know stuff, so when you guys do correct me or make suggestions or comments, others and me as well, we all learn together. So yeah, guys, thank you for your support. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.